This Main Street program developed in the 70s, and over the years, it's spread across the entire United States. Today, there's over 2,000 communities across the U.S., almost in every state, that are practicing this Main Street four-point approach, which I'm going to talk about in just a sec. And what they found over the past 30 to 40 years that it's actually one of the most successful economic development models in the country. It works, and there's a proven track record. And there's a reason why it works. One, because it's comprehensive, but two, because it's very much community-based program. It's about getting the community and the people who live in an area together to help to bring back their communities and be involved in the revitalization of their communities instead of just a top-down effort, where one guy comes in and says, we're going to do this and we're going to make it in my vision, or, a couple of consultants' vision. But really, it's about the community. Who is going to use those services? Who lives in that community? Who really wants that? And that's what the Main Street program is about. And it kind of, the name fits, Main Street. You think of, the Main Street areas, but you also just think about the people, mainstream, it's really about the people. And so what primarily it tackles, and when you think about economic development, I guess there's a couple different kinds of economic development, but this one really gets at one thing called a quality of life. The quality of life, I think, is very important. And I'm not saying that other companies or for-profit or whatever businesses are bad that, make a profit that don't necessarily affect your quality of life, but I think it's a little more interesting, it's a little more fun and exciting to work with or for a company that does affect the quality of life of an individual or a community. And you can see, like those little apps that you download on your phones, those little bird apps or whatever. Do you really think that's benefiting someone's quality of life? Maybe you can make an argument for those 10 minutes that you're bored in between classes that you have something to do, and you probably shouldn't be going over your notes or something, but instead you're going to play this little game. They have a purpose in society. People make money on them. There's a lot of other products that we're a very consumer-driven culture. There's a lot of, just buying stuff that not necessarily improves our quality of life, but it's nice to have. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think this is a program that really affects the quality of life. And we look at community, and there's 4 parts that we focus on. You have the physical, that is the buildings, the infrastructure, the landscape that's actually, there, the physical pieces of it. You have the economic, which is, the businesses, the money making, the exchanging of cash and revenue. Then you have the social aspect, and that's about people going down. So when you shop, are you talking to people? Are you engaging with people? And that brings me to engagement. Are you engaged with what's going on in your community? Are you volunteering? Are you trying to do stuff to help better your community or make it a better place to live or be? And so that's really what the Main Street is about. Economics is one part of it, and that's why I say this is a 4-point approach. And if you don't do it comprehensively, if you just focus on the economic side, you're going to be missing 3 parts, and you're probably not going to have as good as an outcome as you could have. And so the 4-point approach is this. It's essentially 4 different committees within our organization that are staffed mostly by volunteers from the community. These are volunteers who decided they want to get involved. They take a role. Some are the chair of the committee. Some just serve on the committee. They perform various projects. And so I'll quickly go through them. And this is what we do. This is the comprehensive approach. Instead of focusing just on economic restructuring, which is a core part, we also have a promotion committee. Promotion, they're in charge of marketing the district, creating a unique kind of image and reputation and marketability for this district. And we're specifically talking about downtown Hopewell in this case, but really you could be talking about anything. A lot of commercial real estate will use a similar model to this because you've got to market the properties, you've got to market the place. How's anybody going to know about it? But this also, for downtown, this also includes putting on festivals and events. Sometimes big festivals, sometimes small little things. Farmers Market, one that we're working on now. I'll show you in a sec. We do our annual Get Your Butts to Broadway competition. It's something fun we came up with, a pork butt competition on East Broadway Avenue, just to bring the energy back to the downtown, just to get people out socializing again, give them something fun to do. And then you have design. It's about enhancing the appearance of the downtown. Has anyone heard of the broken windows theory? No, not really. Very basically, broken windows theory is if something looks neglected and essentially has broken windows, a building has some broken windows and looks neglected, that's going to create more neglect and more crime within an area. So just by fixing a window, even a little crack in a window, can have an impact, a positive impact on the rest of the area. Because when things start to look downtrodden, that's when it invites other elements, crime and neglect, and kind of it impacts the whole district. And so design is just as important as economic restructuring. We have to have the buildings looking nice. So we work on the rehab of the buildings. We also work on the streetscape, banners, everything down to little flower baskets. And I'll get into that in a sec. And then organization. This committee is about bringing partnerships because no one organization can really revitalize an area. It's going to take partnership. We work with local government all the time. We work with the Chamber of Commerce. We work with Virginia State University. We work with Virginia Commonwealth University. We have to build that partner network to help us accomplish our mission. I think in any business, especially social entrepreneurship, if you're out there doing a social cause, if you haven't built partners with other like organizations, then you're really missing the point. I think you're going to waste a lot of resources.